Hi everyone, it's Janet and welcome to my channel. Today I have a fun fold for you that I'm going to be making. Actually, this is kind of a hybrid of a project share and an actual tutorial because it's I've got some of it done but not all of it, and I'll explain where you can find all the measurements and everything in just a moment. The card I'm going to be making is called a triangle pop-up card. We're going to also, in addition to learning how to make this type of card, I'm going to be using an art impression stamp set for this. It is so cute, you guys. It's in their normal store inventory, and it's called the Whisk-It Set 5001. It's got a cute little lady with her cupcakes and some extra cupcakes, a single cupcake, a beautiful little tiered birthday cake, a whisk, some pot holders, which are truly adorable, love them, and several sentiments related to baking. So I thought this would be a fun one to use. I'm also going to be using some circle dies. This is Art Impressions, also circle double stitch dies for this card. Alright, so back to this particular card. You've probably seen it. It's been around for a few years, and when I went to find how to make this card, the best tutorial I could find on it was from a lady in Britain or the UK by the name of Jan B, and she's a Stampin' Up demonstrator. She has an active channel today, and I'm going to be sure to give you the link to this particular tutorial that she did. But what I'm going to do to help clarify things a tiny bit is I will provide in my blog, which I'll give you a link to that too in the video description, it will be a list of instructions along with a diagram that I'm drawing up that will show you what pieces go where, and I'll have them numbered or something so you can find that out. And then you'll see this 8x8 with the score lines and the cut line, and hopefully that will make things a little clearer too if you want to try this yourself. The fact is, it's not very hard to make at all, but it's just a little confusing to describe. So what I've got is this card assembled in various forms, and I'm just going to kind of walk through it as I go, and you'll see how it comes together. The way that it goes together is it collapses like this and creates this kind of triangle presentation, and then there is a space in here to put a pop-up feature, which in this case is going to be a little mini easel card set up inside of it. So what you do is you cut an 8x8 piece, and then you score it in half, creating basically a plus sign through the middle of it, and then pick one side and cut it in half up to the half score line. So you can see there, it's only cut up to here, halfway through. Opposite of that line, you'll want to put two diagonal, just corner to corner scores so that they can be folded like this. And then as you see, when it collapses in, this becomes part of the presentation of the card. Alright, so we've got the basic idea here. Now, let's move on and show you what it looks like once you decorate it. This is one that I have in progress, and what you do is you cut white squares in this case and pattern paper squares. The white squares, two full ones go here and here, and then two others are cut in half to form these triangles. So it takes one pattern square in each pattern, so two pattern paper squares total that are cut in half to make this background, and then behind that are the white squares that were cut in half, and obviously the white squares are a little bigger than the pattern pieces so that you get a matting effect. Then also I've added two magnets right here, and the magnets will hold this card together when it's being displayed so it doesn't fly apart. Now this card sample that I'm going to do here sometimes holds and sometimes doesn't, but you could see it kind of pops apart, and it gets worse when you have some weight on these wings. So you do want to have it hold itself together, and the magnets are a perfect solution for that. So I've left the magnets uncovered so you can see where they go. And on the diagram I'll indicate where they go as well. Now this folds up to be mailed into a 4x4 square. You fold it in half and then fold it this way, and then this would become the front of your card. And you're going to cover up this magnet with a mat and your decoration so it won't show. But yeah, that's essentially how it works. So here we have another version that I've done yet one more step with, and that is I've added the decoration on the back, so which really becomes the front of the card. And this brings me to another point that Jan B. made, and I also agree with, is that this card may be kind of hard for people who have never seen it to know how to put it together. So it might be best to give this card to someone in person so you can show it to them, because it gets even slightly more weird for the recipient who's not familiar, and that's because you're adding this easel feature in it. Now it's going to go right here and it's going to stand up whatever you decide to put in there. And here's what I'm going to be putting in there, is this really cute stove that's part of the stamp set, along with a sentiment on the top, I loaf you. And that's going to go to this, and then I've got a stopper created here, you make everything butter, and that's going to go here also to help this stand up. So it makes a really pretty presentation. I've also got some decorations I'm going to put right here. So why don't we go ahead and finish this construction. I'm going to set that aside and bring in my very well used art glitter glue bottle. Can you believe this? It's so used that my paper is peeling off. I did finally go and buy a new bottle because I wanted to show that it is art glitter glue for my videos, but I needed a new bottle with a nice new label. I know I wouldn't have to, but I prefer it. And also it's kind of sticky from the label. So anyhow, here is my piece. I want to make sure that I'm nice and straight. Just kind of let that rest to figure out where I want to place the circle. Then I'll grab it and stick that on. So I should have described a little more about making this. I've got a piece here to show you that. What you do is you fold a piece of your cardstock in half. So this started out as a rectangle. Then I took my circle die and put it over the top of the rectangle of paper, but overhung the edge, or that rest of that circle edge, over the top so that it wouldn't cut right here. That way when you cut it and open it up, you're going to have what looks like this. Then you pick one side, divide it in half, or close to half, and fold it, and that's what creates this easel piece. You'll want to make sure that when you do this, that the side that has the prettiest stitching, if you're using a stitch circle die, shows when it's open. That's just a little housekeeping thing for you. So that's how the easel basically works, and I'm going to be putting this into my card. I have made a little sentiment for the stopper. You make everything butter. I think that's pretty darn cute. And now I just need to decide if I'm going to, how I'm going to put this in. We just have to make sure that it's easy to shut and that it's not going to get in the way of the rest of the card in some way. So for me, I think this works all right. Maybe I could move this back a little farther. Now you could put it right on the circle also. I think I'm going to move mine out a bit so it's not so straight up and down. And I'm just kind of making note of like how far away this is. In fact, I think I'll just put that there to kind of help me remember. Now this on the back, we're just going to apply glue and put it right in that corner. I just want to pay attention again to the straightness of this corner to the piece. I think that's a little better. So that is now installed, and then I'm going to make my little stopper piece. And set that here. So it's fairly unique because it's got a corner presentation instead of a straight on, you know, presentation, but I think that's pretty cool actually. So you could set it like that or like this, whichever way you want. Now I have some decorations for these flaps because they inevitably look a little bit bare, I think, but the stamp set has a cute couple images you can pull from. So we have the cupcakes and the whisk, and I colored this with my Copic marker and then cut it out and glued it onto my circles that I also cut out with the Art Impressions stitched circle set. The background I used here is just something that I had made a while back. It's kind of a watercolor background with some iridescent ink in it, so that's why it is shiny. And also the back of this, I used that same piece that I made as the mat for that. The colors just work real nice in this case. It's got some pink and some blue in it. The first thing I'm going to do though is I'm going to attach these adorable little hot pad holders onto my stove. And I'm going to just hang them kind of like, I know it's a little bit weird because they're not both hanging there. Is this one has a loop too. You could cut that off. I might cut it off. I haven't glued it down solid. I'm going to leave that as a possibility. For now we'll leave it, but I might take that off. Anyway, so there's that. Then I'm going to take this one and I'm going to apply it on the other side here as a decoration. Then this one, I think I will put the whisk down, but I'm going to do exactly the same thing. Kind of try to get them similar distance from the corner and even. It's close enough. If you want to find what colors I used, especially for the green retro oven, you can find that also on my blog post. I'll share that with you. So let's see what it looks like when it is folded up and ready to put in the mail or give to your recipient. So you would open this up, because the magnets again are behind here. It's gonna automatically shut there. So what you will do is set this down, close it up, fold it over, and there's the front of your card again. So when your recipient gets it, they would fold it open, fold it down, connect it together, and then set the easel up. So I think you can kind of see now why I'm saying it might be good to give this in person so you can show them how it works. It's a little bit much. But I like it. I like the look of it. It's unique and different, and it's something that is going to look great on someone's shelf for a while, and they will enjoy looking at that. And that's it for me today. I hope you enjoyed this and inspired you a little bit. If you're interested again in making this card, you'll find all the directions on my blog post. Just follow the link. Take care, everybody, and I'll be back soon with a new video. Bye-bye. It was great being with you today. If you would like to keep the fun going, I've put a few other videos up here that you might like to watch. And also, if you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, and do subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you, and have a very crafty day.